What up, YouTube? It's your boy Kurt, man. I'm back with another video. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses, peace to the kings, peace to the queens, peace to everybody tapping in. Peace to the gods, once again, peace to the goddesses. Hey, man, peace to the peasants, man. I haven't forgot y'all, man. Come on, man. Top of the Wednesday, right? Hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all taking care of yourselves. Damn, man, I've been so busy, you know what I'm saying? But I have not forgotten to turn on my camera. Like I said, y'all gonna be seeing me a lot more on this, you feel me? But, let me just catch my breath. Allow me to catch my breath. But as I do catch my breath, allow yourself to get comfortable too, man. If you in the gym, shit, keep lifting these weights, because I'm really about to get you a little message. You feel me? As a man thinketh, so he is, man. As a man thinketh, so he is, bro. So grasp that right quick before I get into it. Before I start mashing up, chopping up this game, dissecting this information for you, making it more clear to understand the statement first, bro. As a man thinketh, so he is, nigga. Yeah, shout out Yeshua, shout out all them niggas in the Bible who, you know what I'm saying, put this information on paper and shit. Shout out to everybody who ever discussed this shit. But I got this statement, I learned this from, you know what I'm saying, the Bible. For my niggas who read the Bible, for my niggas who read books and shit, you know what I'm saying, in the Bible it does teach us that as a man thinketh, so he is. Hell yeah. So now getting into it, right? As a man thinketh, so he is, right? As a man think, so he is. As a man think, so is he, right? The way that you think is really who you is, my nigga. So we have to understand something, bro. The universe, it works mentally. It doesn't work on a physical perspective. Like, you have to understand that. First, bro, you have to understand that the universe works mentally. So everything that you see physically, that TV, that plant, that light, that door, whatever that you're seeing on a physical perspective is happening in your mental, bruh. This has been programmed within your mental. You can go look the shit up. You don't see with your eyes, you see with your brain. So if your brain had never been programmed, if your brain had never been given a program and a code in which to dissect specific atoms and, you know what I'm saying, small substances and call them, for example, a TV, or call it a plant, or call it a door. If your brain never got the program of what those things are, you would never experience them and perceive them, right? Never. You would have never perceived this shit, nigga. You see what I'm saying? Your brain had to be given a program first for you to know that these things exist. So it had to exist first in the mental, bro. Somebody had to think, but my nigga, a table, right? Somebody had to think like, yo, I need something that's just high enough for me to put my shit on it. I don't want to sit on it, but I want to put something on it. He had to think that from another dimension, bro. Remember that the physical is the third dimension. Your mental is a fourth dimension. It's a fourth dimension. Why is it fourth? Because you cannot, bro, anything is possible in your mind. Anything is possible in the fourth dimension. That's why it's like I made a video years ago talking about what really happens when you dream. You go to the fourth dimension. That's why you can fly in the fourth dimension, because in the fourth, you are not limited to the third dimension's physics and laws. You know what I'm saying? The physics and laws that govern the third dimension don't govern the fourth dimension. So you are able to do much more, and people, you know, entities and beings that live in higher dimension tend to appear as gods to beings that stay in the third dimension, because they're able to do things from a higher capacity, because they're not limited to this physical. So it's not because it's not just, so you know what I'm saying, like, you don't have to look at the beings in the higher dimensions like they gods or whatever. They're just able to do things that you are not able to do based off the level of technology that governs the dimensions. Do you understand what I'm saying, bro? Yeah, it's all just technology. All this shit is just tech, nigga. Your mind, your brain, the way this world works, all of it is just tech, nigga. You see what I'm saying? So I need you to understand it, bro. The reason I'm bringing this up is because as a man thinketh, so he is, right? So you know how you've been watching, bro. I don't know, bro. I'm talking man to man now on some man shit. You've been watching your self-improvement videos. You've been watching Steph is cold. You know, you've been watching these niggas advising you to be colder. You've been watching these niggas advising you, you know, to go hard every day. But I just want to tell you something right quick, bro. You are not gonna go hard unless, you know, like, it has to be within you, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? This shit has to be within you. You have to have this within you. You have to have that dog in you, bro. Because when you know what I'm saying, I know you're familiar with that statement that they say you have to have that dog in you. Otherwise, you ain't gonna be able to hold the success or whatever that comes with it. You have to have that dog in you in order for you to be grinding endless nights. Why? Because that dog within you is the one that makes you think a certain way. That's why it says you have to have that dog in you. It has to be in you. It cannot be on you, bro. It can't. It starts with how you think. You see that's what it means when it really that's what they really mean when they say it has to be within you. You know what I'm saying? The dog has to be within you. It starts with how you think. And how you think is not external, bro. That's all internal work. That's all internal work, nigga. How you think really shapes your reality, bro. This is why I'm gonna make a slight example. This is why you can be the most handsome, you know what I'm saying, attractive looking nigga in a physical, but then you don't get no hoes. You don't get no women. Because you are not thinking in a way that, you know, you don't think that way. You don't think abundantly. Compared to a nigga who is not as attractive as you, a nigga who don't look as good as you, but then he sees himself a certain way. So because he sees himself a certain way, he can move in that way. I'm gonna make a little example, bro. Like you can be, you know what I'm saying? Let me just say you a regular looking nigga, bro. The way that you think about yourself determines how you deal with women, bro. Like for example, my nigga, like it could be the baddest woman bro, it could be the baddest woman in the room, right? And then you find that she fucking with the least attractive nigga. But the thing is, he thinks a certain way, and because he thinks that way, it allows him to speak that way. So when he's speaking to this woman, you, on the other hand, you think of yourself in such a way that you don't see yourself experiencing a reality in which beautiful women can come around and, you know, see you as that nigga. So that's the reality that you experience. Him, on the other hand, you know, he's not so focused on how he looks, but he has developed himself more on an internal point of view to the point where he thinks that he deserves, you know, beautiful women around him. Guess what's gonna happen? That's exactly what he's gonna experience. Because as a man thinketh, so he is, bruh. So the alchemy behind this, right, is that you have to walk by faith, not by sight. Just like it says in the Bible, nigga. Do not walk by sight. Because, bro, my nigga, Yeshua and them, Jesus and them, bro, they knew that what you looking at here is not real, bro. They knew that this shit is an illusion. Reality is really an illusion, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to walk by faith. So even if the reality that you're currently in right now is not contrary, you know what I'm saying, is not aligned with the person that you see yourself being, you cannot change the way that you think about yourself because of your current reality, bro. You have to stay fighting. You have to stay thinking that. You have to stay thinking positive. You have to stay thinking in alignment in the reality that you want to experience. Because as a man thinketh, so he is, nigga. I don't care what's around you physically, bro. I don't. That doesn't really matter. I need you to understand. I need you to grasp that. Your physical life does not really matter. The most important thing that matters is what's going on in here, bro. So fix up here because, bro, the universe is mental. This is a mental plane, nigga. That's why I'm telling you, like, me and you can observe the same thing happening right now, but I can create different scenario. You can create a different scenario based off how we program, how we think. So that's why I said, bruh, the way you think determines how you experience this reality. Because me and you could be looking at the same thing, but we experiencing totally two different things. We could be looking at the same thing, but experiencing two different things because of how I think and the way you think. That's why I made a little example earlier of how the ugly ass nigga, you know what I'm saying, he could have a mindset of a king, a mindset of how he knows that he deserves bad women. He deserves bad bitches, man. He knows that. So because he knows that, his reality is going to perceive what he thinks, nigga. So if you think you don't deserve women, or if you think you need to get money first in order for you to be dealing with specific type of women, or you know you need to acquire specific things in order to be dealing with type of woman, guess what's gonna happen, bro? That's exactly what the universe is gonna provide for you. The universe is just gonna make it hard for you to just deal with women just as a man, just as you is. Because you the one who thought to yourself like, damn, bro, I'm gonna need this money, I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna need that, then I can be able to deal with this woman. So then what did God say? God said, okay, cool, that's how you wanna shape your reality, that's how you want to think, because as a man thinketh, so he is. These is principles we cannot escape, nigga. I don't care who the fuck you is, nigga. I don't care who you think you is. You cannot escape this principle. You cannot. As a man thinketh, so he is. So God is looking at you like, damn, bro, that's how you think? Okay, cool. That's the reality that you want, then shit. We're going to make sure that you don't get no bitches. You don't get no bad bitches because you said in order for you to, the only way you can fuck with the bad bitches is that you need to acquire a certain amount of money or a certain, you know what I'm saying, certain things. Based off how, I don't know how you think. This is you. These are your thoughts, bro. These are your thoughts. So as a man thinketh, so he is. As a man thinketh, so he is, bro. Pay attention to how you think. And another thing, even if you're not actioning, right? Even if you're not in a moment, you're like, bro, even when you're chilling, bro. Let's say you're in that stage and you're like, cause everything has seasons, right? You have a season where you're supposed to be grinding, like farming and shit. And then you have a season where, you know, you're not really grinding, like seeding. Just like a farmer, right? Every season is not the season to be planting seeds, nigga. You have a season to plant, that's when you do the real hard work. That's the dog work. And then you have a season where you're just maintaining your plants, you watering them, you feeding, you giving them nutrients. And then you have a season where what? You harvest that shit. So during that season where you're watering your plants, right? During that season where you're not really grinding like that, where everything is just moving slow. A slow grind is better than no grind, remember that. But during that season in your life where things just seem like they moving slow, but they moving, you want to stay thinking the way that you've been thinking for you to get there. You don't want to change your thinking, bro. You want to stay thinking of ways to improve. You want to stay thinking of ways to escape a matrix, whatever matrix you in. You want to think of ways to become a better person in whatever you're doing. You just always want to be thinking about these things. You want to be thinking about the positive things, because as a man thinketh, so he is. I cannot repeat this enough, bro. This shit is like, this is probably one of the most important videos I made, because this is a cheat code that a lot of niggas overlook. This is a cheat code that a lot of niggas overlook. And you most likely overlook that because of your current reality. You most likely overlook that because of your current reality. But like I keep saying, we have to start operating from a mental point of view first. Start operating in here first before you operate in this physical. Nigga, get your mind right. That's what that means. That's what that means, nigga. Get your mind right. And you have to do the work. A lot of niggas is lazy, bro. A lot of niggas don't want to sit in silence, repeating the same thing, unlearning, you know, old habits. A lot of niggas don't want to do that shit. Because you really have to retrain your mind how to think. A lot of people don't want to do that. But you have to do the work, man. As a man thinketh, so he is. I hope this video was informative, man. And I hope you've been taking care of yourself. That's a little light video for the Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. My bad. I'm already on Thursday. It's a Wednesday. You feel me? But that's the video for today, man. I hope you're really taking care of yourself. And remember, bro, keep hydrated and stay thinking positive, because as a man thinketh, so he is. And I'm going to check y'all on the next one. Peace.